Check out carmarshal.com. The link is in the description. They help support us.
Ginger the Cavapoo was barely 10 pounds sopping wet. No match for a German Shepherd trained with the Rockland County Sheriff's Office who lives with a detective in the New City neighborhood.
She was like my best friend.
13-year-old Christina Ford was getting ready for school around 7 a.m. Tuesday. Her father had left for work and the nanny took Ginger for a walk.
She turned around, she saw this dog coming on them, and then she did the best she could to prepare.
Detective Dwayne DeFino pried him off, brought the blood.
What is the dog still doing here? Why aren't you at the hospital?
The detective knew that the dog had passed on and was going to return the dog home.
Ford argues the detective wasted way too much time.
Still ahead here at 11, where they
Girl heartbroken after a police canine mauled family's tiny dog for no reason, watched it die. A little girl is heartbroken after a police canine mauled their beloved 10-pound Cavapoo and the deputy held her in the car for an hour as she died. By Matt Agarist, November 27, 2017. New City, New York. A family is grieving and asking for answers after Ginger, their beloved Cavapoo, a poodle and a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel mix, was mauled to death by an out-of-control police canine. She was my best friend, Christine Ford said of her tiny little dog that weighed less than 10 pounds. Ford happens to live in the same neighborhood as two Rockland County Sheriff's deputies. One of those deputies is a German Shepherd who lives with his detective handler. Ford, who is 13 years old, was getting ready for school last Tuesday around 7 a.m. when the family's nanny took Ginger on a walk to Grand Street in New City. She turned around, saw the dog coming at them, and then she did the best she could to prepare, Tom Ford said. Detective Dwayne DeFino, the dog's handler, finally regained control of his German Shepherd. However, the massive dog had already gravely injured Ginger. The family's nanny did not have a car to bring the dog to the vet, but DeFino did. Instead of bringing the dog to the hospital after allowing his dog to get loose and maul it, DeFino brought the dog back to the family's home and Christina called her dad, who was an hour away at work. Advertisement. At this point, the dog still showed signs of life, Tom said. For some reason, the officer simply sat in his car at the Ford home until Tom showed back up. According to Tom, this was a critical time which could have saved Ginger's life. Instead of simply letting her bleed to death in the back of a car, DeFino could have tried to reconcile his mistake and, at the very least, tried to get the dog some help. Read more. Graphic video shows cops use canine to torture unarmed, nonviolent naked man. I pull up and the dog was in the back, the gentleman's car, and he stated to me, "I don't think the dog's going to make it," Ford said, and I said, "What is the dog still doing here? Why aren't you at the hospital?" Unlike a regular citizen, DeFino did not have to defend his actions. Instead, the police chief came to bat for him to make excuses to justify the deputy's actions. The detective knew the dog had passed on and was going to return the dog home, Chief William Barbara said. However, Tom Ford doesn't buy it. He feels that if DeFino would have done the right thing and brought the dog to the hospital instead of simply sitting in his car, Ginger may still be alive. Whether the dog would have made it or not, I don't know, but I find it disheartening. Maybe an hour went by before anything was done, Ford said. It's just really sad, Christina added. In regard to how their canine acted, the department called the dog's behavior out of character. Sadly, police canines attacking innocent people or pets is all too common. One particularly horrifying example of this propensity to maul the innocent happened on January 30, 2015, when a health food store in Henderson, Nevada called the police after a disgruntled customer, attempting to return some protein powder, allegedly threatened to rob them. The store described the suspect to police as a black male wearing a black and tan t-shirt who left in an SUV. As police responded to the call, they quickly stopped the first person they saw, who happened to be Arturo Arenas Alvarez. Arenas Alvarez had just pulled up in the shopping center to do some shopping when police drew their weapons and demanded he put his hands in the air and step toward them. Read more. Good cop quits, crosses blue line after video shows fellow cops allow canine to maul innocent man. Arenas Alvarez did not appear to understand why multiple armed men were pointing their guns at him, so one officer asked him in Spanish to approach the vehicle. Before Arenas Alvarez makes it all the way to the vehicle, officers realized they had the wrong guy. "That's not him, dude. That's not a black man in a black shirt," one officer said to another. However, they continued the detainment. Officers begin to assure Arenas Alvarez that he will be fine. "They thought that you were involved in a robbery. You don't look like the person, so it's okay now, okay," one officer said. However, nothing could have been further from the truth. As officers were telling Arenas Alvarez that he'll be okay, Sergeant James Mitchell can be heard on the radio telling the officers, "Stand by a couple of minutes. K9-1 is about 2 minutes out." During the display of gross incompetence of mistaking Arenas Alvarez for a black man in a black shirt, Arenas Alvarez's 17-month-old daughter, Elaine, was strapped into her car seat in the SUV. Before Arenas Alvarez could communicate to the officers that his infant daughter was in the car, the 2 minutes had passed and Sergeant Mitchell arrived with his Belgian Malinois. Almost as soon as he exited the vehicle, Mithcel released the canine into the SUV of an entirely innocent man and his daughter. "My baby," Arturo Arenas Alvarez can be heard pleading with officers in broken English. "I've got my baby." An officer then yelled out, "There's an infant in that car. There's an infant in that car." But it was too late. By the time the cops realized that their immediate escalation to violence was unnecessary, the damage had been done. Read more: elderly man mauled as police sick canine on him for rescuing his neighbor's cat. Just like Mitchell, Deputy DeFino will most assuredly not be held accountable for allowing his canine to indiscriminately attack innocents. And, as history shows us, this problem will continue because of a system that fosters and protects brutality and unaccountability.
There's a lot of people.
You want to bring him back here?
Yeah, you know, we don't speak in English, dude. You speak Spanish?
A little bit, not enough to... I could call him back, but he might be facing us, so...
We got a little Spanish right here, so go for
Señor!
it.
¿Más arriba? Venga aquí! Venga aquí!
That's not him, dude. It's not a black man with a black shirt.
Venga aquí. Alright, turn him face away. Thank you. Got me covered? Alright. Más arriba. Okay. ¿Hablas inglés? Poquito? Alright. Okay. Somebody stole some stuff right over here, and you guys want to go up and clear the car? Somebody stole some stuff over here, and they said that they were gonna rob the place, and so they thought that you were part of that. Okay, so step back here, come back over here. So you're okay. You can relax. They thought that you were involved in a robbery. Robbery, yeah. You don't look like the person, so it's okay now, okay? You saw him walk over that way?
Yeah, the car of the Impala.
Okay, so you got him in the Impala?
Yeah. That's my baby. I have my baby.
Okay, alright.
This is on the dog on the truck.
There's an infant in that car! There's an infant in that car! Check on the baby now.
My baby.
You okay? We don't speak English here. Hold on. Okay. That's all right. Okay. You saw the guy leave? All right. Okay. Yeah, good. I'm glad you didn't. Okay, baby. God damn it. I'll make sure the baby's okay, alright? I don't know if it's... Yeah. Hey, Sarge? The big thing. Obviously, he's not connected to that. Are you okay to come up? Who's that? No connection. You saw the guy leave. Got enough power left. Alright. That's my supervisor, alright? Yeah, he speaks a little bit of English. Because it's a robbery and the guy had a gun. We're sending the dog.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a, let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, if I got, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head, help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.